Catherine is an animated short film written and directed by Britt, Raes, and we have a voice cast including Madison Reeves, Braden Lunsford, and Rudi Rok. And I don't know how I feel about this. I thought it was going to be either really moving and really meaningful, or maybe silly fun, and it kind of missed the mark on both of those. There was one moment I was not prepared for, and I will, with a spoiler warning in a bit, tell you what that is. But it seemed like it was very slow, and then it felt like it was about to go into a really moving direction, and then it just became a bit ridiculous. But it was not silly fun, and it wasn't overly emotional. It was for a very brief period, and I just feel like it feels like it doesn't know what it's trying to achieve. The music is very good. The music is the strongest thing about this. I thought it was very, very well done. The animation itself is fine. It's not my favourite style, but it's okay. I can't fault it. It's about a girl who starts off as a young girl, and she loves cats. And I have to say, the animation isn't my favourite, but there's this one bit where she's walking down this street and the houses are moving, and it's very, very well done. I'd say that's probably my favourite bit of the whole animation. And then she grows up and she still has her cats, and she has this one cat who is rather cute. The animation of the cats is definitely cute, credit where it's due. And well, it's all about her being alone with her cat, and then something happens, and then it kind of became a bit ridiculous. And I will explain in a moment what I mean by that. I love cats, by which I mean I am cat obsessed, and I will watch any animation with cats in, and generally I will enjoy any animation with cats in, but this one just seemed like it didn't know what it was trying to achieve. And then because we have animation that's not necessarily to my own tastes, apart from the music, there wasn't really anything in this that I enjoyed. So I will now, with a spoiler warning, go into a little bit more details so you know what I'm talking about. If it looks like your kind of animation, if you love cats, by all means check it out. Come to your own conclusions, but I feel like it was just a little bit too messy. It didn't really work very well for me. But spoilers from now, as I go into a bit more detail. So the first issue I had with it was the pacing. It's about 12 minutes, and honestly nothing happens for about 7 or 8 minutes. It's tremendously slow. And then something happens, and for a split second I thought this is going in an emotional direction. It's going to be moving, it's going to be meaningful. And that split second is when Catherine is across the road and her cat sees her out of the window. And the cat goes out of the window, runs across the road, and it's hit by a car. And I wasn't ready for that. I really wasn't. But it was powerful. It was impactful. Those few seconds, I hated what I was seeing, but it was very well done. And I thought, okay, we've turned a corner. Something has finally happened. This is going to be emotional. It's not. After that, her cat is returned to her taxidermied, which I have to say I just hate the concept of. But she then gets cat after cat after cat, and they die in stupid ways. One of the cats dies because it chews a wire, and then it's all electrocuted and it's stuffed like that. Another cat dies because it goes into a boot, and then is crushed by a human foot. Ridiculous. And it just keeps going on from there. So that part of it, I'd say the last kind of 3-4 minutes, I didn't time it, but the last couple of minutes were just stupid. And if the whole cartoon had been suggesting a kind of silly humour, I would have gone on board with that. But for the first, I want to say almost 2/3, it's dry, it's dull, it's boring, nothing happens. I can't even get a sense of what it was trying to achieve. And then for a split second, it becomes emotional. And then for the last few minutes, it's just a bit ridiculous and trying to get some cheap humour out of some squished up cats. And if that had been the whole vibe, fair enough. But it wasn't. And it just feels like the cartoon didn't know what it wanted to achieve. Maybe it was going for the shock factor, but the inconsistencies makes that very difficult to buy into. So unfortunately, I don't think it's very good at all. The animation style itself is, well, it's consistent. But apart from the design of the cats themselves, not when they're all squished up, but the design of the cats when they're alive. And as I said, that bit of the houses, other than that, the animation's not to my personal taste. Some people might like it, I don't. And then we have a very messy narrative. I didn't enjoy it, unfortunately. Unless you're a huge cat fan, or if this sounds like something that might appeal to you. I doubt Catherine is one that would be very enjoyable.